Well, here's another camera slash video garbage. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sucking at keeping control of the footage and the quality of my cameras. The Pixel I have, sometimes it records sideways, it records upside down. I don't know if the sensor in it is going bad. So I tried to use a different camera last night. Some of the footage comes out real grainy and crappy. I tried to use my action cam. Same thing, the video come out kind of grainy and not real good. So what you're going to see throughout this video is poor video quality, and towards the end it'll be good quality because I got my Pixel fixed, or I think I figured it out to where I could use it. But what I will promise is that I got a brand new camera coming, and I've got a new system on saving my files. So thanks for watching. Sorry about the quality. All right, guys. We've reached a milestone, if you want to say it that way, or a goal, or whatever. I never really said it as a goal, but we're over 200 subscribers right now. That is pretty kick-ass for the fact that less than a year, or maybe even 6 months, I was under 100. And I got to thank you guys for that. Keep sharing my videos, keep getting more people to watch them, keep getting more people to subscribe, notification bell, and push the like button. Get the YouTube on me and see how we can get the community even more. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification. Let's keep it going. All right. So if you've been following me on Instagram and Facebook, you would see that we've got one link done. I posted a picture of it in a jig, and it needed to be welded up. So I welded it up the other day. And here's our jig piece. It's just an angle iron. These holes are cut at 36 inches. And the reason we went with 36 is that puts this link in the axle, puts this link in at the same pivot point as the dry shaft on the transfer case. So in theory, this link and my dry shaft are always going to travel on the same plane, and it'll keep the dry shaft pointed at my transfer case at all times, because we're making what they call a 3-link, a modified 3-link, which this top piece ain't going to go to the frame. It's going to go from the axle down to the arm. I have enough room to do triangle 3-link. So it's going to come off the axle up here on the driver's side only and come down here. I'm not putting one of these on the passenger side because the passenger side is only about 4 inches away from the starter. So it'll go up and try to hit the starter with any amount of compression. So that part is not going to go. So here's our rear mount that goes on the frame. It'll go in from this direction out to the front. And the reason I do it that way is that if you've got your front link and you're out four-wheeling and your front link falls on something, as it slides across that link, it's going to come across and hit this. And then this is going to end up coming, whatever obstacle you're on, come past it without coming in and hitting the bushing and everything. And this piece right here is thinner than the link. So it's always, the link is always in there unless it's fully drooped out. And then if it's drooped out too far, it won't set inside this. Our bottom link, the way we got it designed right now, the bottom link is at a 5-degree angle upwards towards the rear. And we think that when we put the springs in, it's going to set just a little bit taller than what we expected in the front. So here's our Ford Ranger coil bucket. I ended up having to cut the bottom off. I wanted it to hook to the bottom of the frame, but if I have that sitting so low on the frame, it would raise the truck way up. So I had to cut it off so I could slide this up the frame a little bit to adjust my final ride height with just the position of the bucket up and down. And plus, the way it goes into the truck, it's not going to sit the way that I want it. This has to be slid back, and where this was flat across the bottom, it's at the point of the frame where the frame starts to tuck back down and go under the cab. So this would have had to been cut off anyway. And the only other thing that I might have to end up doing is I might have to cut this off right through here, because I think the shock is too close to the coil spring. That down here at the bottom you got the spring that's on the axle, and then the bottom of the shock's over here, so the shock might be at an angle, which it's at a slight angle, it'd be all right because the shock will still work at an angle, but I don't want people to look in there and just see it like going shooting off at a huge angle. So I might have to cut this and then weld bracket from here back to the frame, and then get like an F or like a Super Duty shock mount, like off of F250 or 350, and then just move it over and put a separate mount in there. If we do, it's no big deal. Our goal this week is just to get the truck on the ground, sitting on its own weight. So what I'm going to do today is build the other link, and I'll show you guys on the video. Kyle is going to cut this bracket out, or these two pieces for this bracket, right here. He's got to go cut all this out on the bandsaw, flip it over, trace it, cut another one, and then we have to drill the holes. We'll put it in the vise and take a grinder and smooth them, make them nice and even. I goofed, and I should have made all four of these at one time. So I could have grounded them, drilled them all the same, and I know that they're going to be the same. That's a goof on me, but we'll deal with it. And then this piece is our upper link. I don't have no bushings. I tried to find out where I get the bushings from for these, couldn't find it. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting this off and using the same pipe, so I can just put these red urethane bushings in there. Right now this is too big for the urethane bushings. So I'm going to end up modifying this with the stuff I have to put my urethane bushings in it, so all of my bushings will match. The only thing that'll be a Jeep bushing is this upper mount, which is still in the axle, which I can swap out because we got new ones. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get off of here and we'll flip you around and get you set up so you can watch us work. so now we got our hose saw, the drill killer. This thing killed 2 of the Harbor Freight drills. And so I had to run, and I bought the Cobalt. And Cobalt did 1 hole, while the Harbor Freight did 2 holes. Or 1 hole, 2 drills. So we're hoping we don't burn this one up. But if you look right here, we're trying to make sure that the saw is square with the pipe. So we're over here, we're at 89.9. We take our other one, put it back here, and we're at 89.8. Pretty daggone close to being square. You know? Woo! Hot tomato! This drill's way better than the Harbor Freight ones. See, that's why it's too short. It might work. God damn it, Kyle. God damn it, son of a bitch. Alright. Well, I messed it up. I cut it way too short. Too big of a gap for me to try to weld and trust it on the truck. So I got to go tomorrow and buy another tube. The problem is they made me buy the whole 10 foot when I only need 34 and a half, and it ended up getting 34 is what we end up drilling it. So this, I can't finish this tonight. I'm gonna have to go get a piece tomorrow, and then we're gonna finish it up. We did make the bracket, which you'll see in the video. We made the rear mount bracket. So that piece is done. The bushings are cut and done to finish that link if I didn't mess it up. All right, so here it is the next day. It's raining. I don't know if you can hear that in the video or if it's going to cause my audio to be kind of crappy. If it gets any harder of a rain, I know it will. But what you get to watch me do today is fix my mistake on this link. Cut it too short, too big of a gap for me to try to weld up and feel safe with it actually being a control arm of the truck. So I'm going to cut these pieces back out on both ends, cut a new tube, weld it up. And then this, I got to cut this loop out so I can put one of these in here so I can use the red bushings in here to match the red bushings that go in here. So all the front bushings are the same. So you're going to see me do some grinding and some cutting. So that's what you'll get right there. I'll end up welding this in there so I can use the red bushings inside here so that they'll be the same as all the links that we're putting in the front end. So if you ever want to replace them, you can just order one pack of those bushings and replace them all. Now I'll end up cutting this down to this size. The bushing I'll put in here will be the same size as this piece, and then I'll cut the tube will be the same size. The bushing will get cut to fit the tube. So there that piece is. Got the old drill killer back out. 88.4, 91.1. So we gotta tilt it a little bit this way. $88.5. Come on, stay on the other side of the measurement. 89.9. Still a little more. $88.4. Dang. Too much. 86. $87.7. 88.5. 88.5. Perfect. That on. There we go. Now what that done is to make sure this is square at this part right here, so it doesn't cut at an angle as it goes through. It's going to go straight down. Pull my pin, remove my shaft, move the cutter. Let's get at it. Gotta be careful. This thing felt like it broke my wrist yesterday. Brakes. Alright, what I gotta do now is the bit won't go all the way through the pipe. Bring it up, repin it, take the cutter. Need a new blade. Gonna have to find somebody in Japan that can give me more of these blades. These little blades are pretty badass. So you cut that little piece out, pull the pin, drop it back down in there, finish her out. Some more lube there, a little lube there. Thing's violent. It feels like it just broke a rib. Boom. Pin it. Pull it off, set it on the floor. Flip it over. Don't spam me, YouTube. All right, there's the second, well, technically third link. I'm gonna lay it on the floor and let it cool off, and I'm gonna fix the let that cool down, and then I'm gonna fix this one. So I can get this one all done up and everything be cooling. Perfect. Now I just gotta level this out some more and then weld it together. And that'll give me my bracket to slide in my red bushings. And this is the upper control arm. Now I just gotta cut my bushing. But she's too hot to cut a bushing because I need to slide the bushing in and make sure it all fits. So this will get set on the floor and wait for tomorrow to be painted. Alright, that's the end of this one. You should have saw me make the link, screw up the link, remake the link, and fix the top link, actually build the top link. And I wanted to get to the frame in this video and start cutting the frame and welding in the plate and putting the mount up there. But I just messing up that link and lower arm link, whatever we'll call it, last night, and happened to go buy another tube today to fix my mistake. It kind of threw me back. So that's the end of this video. The next video will be me actually doing the frame and putting the spring mount in so we can get this thing sitting on the ground. That'd be the only thing left, is to fix that part or put those mounts in to get it to set on its weight. Now we'll still have to make a panhard bar. I did buy the actual steering tie rod ends, drag link and all that. I bought that, put it in last night off camera because it's sitting the way it's sitting up front. I can't get good video underneath. So once I'm able to open the doors from the rain and the cold, I'll be able to show you all of that. But like, share, subscribe, comment, and help YouTube find us. We're over 200 subscribers. That's awesome, and it's all on you guys wanting to watch what I'm doing and what I'm screwing up. So thank you very much, and watch for the next one.